After a decade of entertaining Canberra Rugby League fans, Raiders back Ken Nagas has called it quits. A long battle with chronic knee problems finally bringing down the curtain on a great career.
In one of the more emotional farewells, Ken Nagas arrived at training today to personally address those that have met the most throughout his rugby league career.
I really wanted to make sure that I told them before anyone else, because like I said, I've been around these guys for most of my life now.
We don't like to talk about grown men crying, but so I can't say too much. There was plenty of that going on.
During his time, Nagas played 142 first-grade matches, won a premiership in 1994, represented in 2 State of Origins for New South Wales and 5 Tests for Australia. It was his high speed which was always his strength. A chronic knee problem finally spelling the end of the road, despite several desperate attempts to get back on the field.
I was doing a 100-metre sprint in about 25 seconds, something like that. I couldn't run at all. And
Nagas played his last match in round 4 against Newcastle and now hopes to stay on at Canberra and help out in some way. Flanked by his young family, he bows out with some fond memories and few regrets.
It just seemed to go so quick. It's too quick.
The winger, one of the last members of a golden era in club history. A player once described as poetry in motion.
Canberra Raiders coach Matt Elliott has made changes to his side in the wake of last weekend's loss to the Cowboys. Mark McGlendon has been switched to full-back while Michael Monaghan gets his chance at 5'8". Darren Mapp named up front with further changes to come.
Today's decision by Ken Nagas should be enough to inspire any out-of-form footballer.
You don't get the opportunity to do this sport for a long time, so you need to make the best of it and enjoy it.
Coach Matt Elliott named his side to face the Warriors this weekend. The final make-up depending on an appeal by Tyron Smith and a medical report on Troy Thompson. The rest is up to the players.
We need to be philosophical to understand that happens in rugby league, but it ain't going to happen to the Canberra Raiders anymore.
At training today, members of the British and Australian women's sides. The 3-test series is one apiece, and the final will be the curtain raiser to the Raiders-Warriors match.
From when we came in '96, the team's improved massively. We've brought a lot of young players in, a lot of new players, a lot of experience as well. And
we've had good preparation so far in our first 2 tests, so it's been really good.
The Brits will play a game tomorrow against the ACT as a warm-up. 3 local girls on the national side for the decider.
The Canberra Cannons expect to hear back from Harlem Globetrotter Chris Bruton tomorrow. Bruton is weighing up an offer from Canberra or another season with the Globetrotters. Meanwhile, the club is confident Pero Vasiljevic will be here this season after agreeing to terms. He's expected to begin training with the side next week. With the games countdown well underway, a number of Canberra-based athletes are rounding off preparations. Nathan Deeks to take on the 20 and 50k walks on a 6-day turnaround.
Over the past 2 years, race walker Nathan Deeks has picked up the pace. Now, with the games just days away, he's ready to put it all together in Manchester.
The 20 kilometres, although it's still a long way, is pretty much considered the sprint in walking terms, and the 50 kilometres is such a long race and a race where anything can happen.
Deeks will walk his way into the record books with a medal-winning performance, taking over where recently retired race walker Nick Ahern left off.
It's a big challenge, but something that I'm willing to take on board. Being ranked #1 in both, I would obviously like to walk away with 2 gold medals.
Also ready to rock and roll, recently married Benita Johnson.
Probably one of the major catalysts for my improvement.
The Vikes have named a 22-man squad. Captain Damien McAnally may still be a late inclusion. He's recovering from a foot injury but faces a race with the clock to be fit. Big news for Canberra race driver Dale Breed, the local today joining the Caterpillar racing team for this year's Queensland 500 and Bathurst.
And then we've got an option to continue next year with that team into the main V8 Supercar series. So provided everything goes well for me in the 2 endurance races, then there's a great opportunity.
Breed will fulfil commitments to the Gulf Western racing team before making a full-time switch. The Supercar Series next year, his ultimate goal.
We wanted to step up next year to V8 Supercars, and that's the way things are going currently.
Canberra-based driver coming off a second in the recent Konica Racing Series. And good luck to him. He puts in some hard work, Pete.
Great, Phil. Thanks very much. Tony's weather for you next. Then Multimedia dance set to confront Canberra audience.
Good
Good evening. A mild night in Canberra compared to the past shockers, the overnight low being 0, and plenty of sunshine today. We even managed a respectable 15 degrees. Current details from the Bureau, it's 8 degrees. We have a light northeasterly and the pressure's steady as she goes. Across the tablelands, all fine today with light winds and temperatures ranging from 14 in Yass up to 17 degrees in Braidwood. Along the coast, the day was partly cloudy with light and variable winds. A mild 21 degrees in Narra today. Sounds nice. After a low of 6 and a high of 18 in the Bay. In the Snowies, the day was partly cloudy and mainly fine conditions. It reached a top of 2 degrees at the top of Crackenback and 15 degrees the top in Cooma after a low of -2. Checking the satellite image now, and there's some middle to upper level cloud across Victoria, and that's continuing to move in our direction. There's a weak frontal system moving across Victoria as well. That's likely to affect the local region tomorrow, and we may even get a few showers out of it locally, but it should become fine again on Thursday with that system contracting to the coast. Tomorrow on the coast, cloudy with scattered showers and fresh to strong winds, and tops around the 15 degrees mark, a low of 6 degrees for the Bay, 2 the low for Beacage Night and 5 the low for Nowra. Cloudy with scattered showers for the tablelands as well, with moderate to fresh winds. A cold day for Goulburn and Cooma. They're both heading for a top of 10 degrees, -2 the low for Cooma tonight and 1 the low for Goulburn. The ACT, cloud increasing overnight in the nation's capital with a few showers about the region tomorrow and moderate winds. Canberra's heading for a top of 10 degrees after a low of 2. The outlook, fine and partly cloudy Thursday, 12 degrees, mainly fine Friday, 12, and fine conditions for Saturday. Possible shower around Sunday, Pete.
Great, Tony. Thanks very much. A new multimedia dance performance is set to confront Canberra audiences. He-Man explores male behaviour, focusing on the gay male subculture.
Set to the sounds of a DJ house music track, the fast-paced contemporary dance performance takes place before a floor-to-ceiling video art movie. He-Man's creator, Baron Maloney, aiming to bridge the gap between popular club culture and contemporary dance.
It's about male sexuality, but in particular gay male sexuality. It looks at aggression, male aggression, and how that comes through in their sex drive.
It is a lot about the danger involved in club culture and also the reality that gay men face in society.
Opening at the Gorman House Arts Centre tomorrow night, He-Man performers warn audience members must be over 18, and it's a show not for the faint-hearted.
They will come out a bit shocked, and they will probably feel a little bit uncomfortable during the performance.
Their ultimate ambition, to take He-Man to nightclub stages across Sydney and Melbourne.
Well, it's energetic. That's our bulletin tonight. I'm Peter Leonard from the Win News team. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation from Australia's largest regional television network.